Hi guys, my name is Bobby. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm bringing you my November TBR. So two things. I'm going to apologize, my fan is on. I know you can probably hear it. It is super muggy, so I'm dying. Also, I'm kind of wearing a tank top, and also I got some work done on my arm yesterday, so it hurts. Obviously, it's still sore, and it's hot to the touch because, you know, wound. Tattoos are wounds, and so it's trying to heal, so I'm giving it some air. And yeah, so it hurts, but I added some stuff under here, and this is all new, and you probably can't see it. A couple of you have asked for a tour of my tattoos, so I may enlist my daughter to help me like film that and see if I can figure out a way to do it, because obviously I have tons of tattoos. So a couple people have asked. They're nothing really exciting. I do have an idea for my next one. Yeah, because I don't think I'll ever stop. I'm going to die a very colorful old lady when I get old. But on to my TBR. So I've had, which I've been very honest about this, and I always feel like I'm making excuses every time I bring it up, but I've had a very hard time with reading this year. I think a lot of it's 2020. A lot of it's the stress of everything going on in my life, especially with my dad. There's more stuff going on there now, and there's a lot of issues. It's not my dad's fault, and it's not my sister's fault. There's just a lot of crap going on that I'm trying to deal with, and when I'm really stressed out or upset, I have a hard time concentrating on reading. And it doesn't matter if I want to read or not. I literally can't focus, and my mind wanders, and I start thinking about other things. And so, like, yet again, this month, I've only read 3 books, I think, again. And I was so excited for my TBR in October, and I was participating in Slayer Fest, which I pretty bombed out on because I only read 3 books, and I'm going to try to finish, or maybe I've only read 2. Can't remember. I know I've at least read 2. I think it might be 3. I'd have to look at my Goodreads. And I'm hoping to finish one more. I've got 3 days left in the month, and I'm hoping to finish one more to make it a little better. Don't know if it'll happen. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So for the month of November, I kind of want to allow myself to mood read and not be really rigid. I'm going to show some books that I really want to get to. Don't know if I will or not. It's just I'm going to let myself mood read and not put any pressure. I'm not doing any readathons this month. Oh wait, I have read 3. I did. I've read 3. I'm going to try to finish a 4th for October. I remembered what the other one was. November, there is no new book for my book club. There's a book that was in October, which is one I read in October, which you can take until the end of November to read. So we won't have a new book pick until December, which of course we already know what it is, but that'll be announced next month. And yeah, so you know, I don't have anything else going on. I know there's some readathons going on. It's Nonfiction November, which I'm not a huge fan of nonfiction unless I'm really, really interested in the subject. So I never take part in Nonfiction November. Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin is running his 3rd version of Believeathon, which is a middle grade readathon, and he went and put so much work into it. He's got a whole compendium. Like, he's amazing. He put a lot of work into his readathon, but then again, I'm not a fan of middle grade. I find them boring. And I know there's some that adults can, you know, enjoy, and there's tons of things that, you know, in all age groups that, you know, adults can enjoy, but I just don't enjoy middle grade. I get really bored. I find, because the storytelling is very basic, very easy, because it is written for children, and I don't get it's not fun for me. The only ones that I've ever read that I've really enjoyed are ones that are like for nostalgia, like the Wizard of Oz series. I've read all the books in the Wizard of Oz series, but then again, I also read them when I was like 11. 12 when it was in my age group. I have not read them again as an adult. The only books I've reread it as an adult is the original Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. That's it. And they're classics, so it's a little different, but I'm not a fan of middle grade, unfortunately, so I won't be participating in that. So, and honestly, for me, readathons are really hard because I don't have a huge physical TBR. Okay, like, I don't want to say most of the books I own I've read, but a good portion of them I have, and the ones that I have not read, like, looking at my shelves right now, I can see more read than unread books, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, that whole bottom shelf, all read. That whole middle shelf is all favorites and all read. Good chunk of that top shelf is read. Most of the books that I own, I've read. A good majority. Because for me, with my limited shelf space, if I don't like a book, then it's immediately unhauled or, you know, thrown in the pile to unhaul. And I only really keep stuff that either I haven't read or that I read and loved. So, readathons are hard for me. Really hard. Because I either have to buy books on either Kindle or buy new books to fit the prompts. And that kind of defeats the purpose. The whole point is to read books that you already own. So, No readathons for the month of November. It's pretty much I can do whatever the fuck I want, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to allow myself to buddy read. I'm going to show you some books that I'm already in the middle of, like currently reading, but haven't finished, and books that I really want to get to that I'm hoping to get to. So let's get started. So a book that I want to finish, and I'm really upset that I didn't pick it up this month. I mean, I did. I started it. I am 108 pages into it, but I put it down because I was trying to focus on Slayer Fest, so I never picked it back up. And I read all those 100 pages in like a day. Like it was easy breezy. And that's The Savior Sister by Jen Moreci. This is medical helicopter. The hospital is like a block from my house. So The Savior Sister is the companion novel to The Savior's Champion. So this is not a direct sequel. This is a companion. So this is the main female character, Layla's story from, so it's the story of the Savior's Champion, but from Layla's point of view. In the Savior's Champion, we get it from Tobias's point of view. So he's underground in the Sovereign's tournament in a labyrinth underground the entire time. Layla is on the surface in the palace. And so you get a whole bunch of the politics and the way this world works and the way the magic system works. You get all the stuff that was missing from the first book because you're getting it from her point of view, and she's really involved in what goes on in the world. So I'm 108 pages into this. I'm really enjoying it. I love Jenna's writing. Her writing is so easily digestible. I love Layla and Tobias's story. It's one of my favorites. People say it's insta-love. It's not fucking insta-love. It not once does either of them say the word love in book one anyways, until like the last 100 pages or so. And these books are not small. Like this book is 556 pages. So, you know, to spend 400 pages of a book and they're not saying I love you yet, then it ain't fucking insta-love. I'm sorry. But yeah, really love this story. Really love this series. I think she said it's going to be like 5 or 6 books. So the next book is TSA, but she won't say what the A stands for, but that's probably won't come out until 2022. It's been 2 years since The Savior's Champion came out. It came out in 2018. I got it in a book box, read it, like binged it, loved it. And so I want to finish The Savior's Sister. I pre-ordered it. I was so happy when it got here. Read 100 pages of it the day it arrived and still haven't picked it back up the rest of the month. And I'm really ashamed about it because this came out at the very end of September, and it's one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I still haven't finished it, but I plan to hopefully finish it in November. I'm just kind of taking my time with it because I know it's going to be 2 years until we get the next one. And with this one, I just wanted to focus on other things. So this month, hopefully I can give it my full attention. Next is my Sarah J. Maas read through. Thank you, Becca. You can fuck right off now with your ridiculousness, but yeah, I'm down the Sarah J. Maas hole, which I never thought I ever would be, considering I read Throne of Glass when I was younger. Not younger, like it was like 5 years ago, so I guess, yes, I was younger. Thought it was trash, hated it. It was a stereotypical young adult book, and it was just blah. And then, you know, in comes Becca a couple years later, convinces me to read the ACOTAR trilogy, binged it in a week, literally, and it was like 4 days. I read those 3 fucking books. And then I decided to give Throne of Glass another chance. So I'm currently on Air of Fire, which I have the dust jacket off of it because I have had it off for like 2 months. So it's Air of Fire. This is a chunker as well. It is 500 and something pages. Yeah, like 554. So it's a big book. But this one is really easy to read. Sarah J. Maas writes in a very easy writing style as well, like Jenna Moreci does. So I'm pretty sure I can get through this. I've picked this up this month a couple of times, and I'm on page 136. So I made some progress. I've met Rowan, and I've met Manon. Absolutely adore Manon so far. Don't know how I feel about Rowan. I just already have this deep-seated hate towards him, and I don't even really know him yet because my heart is with Kale, and I kind of want to marry Manon. Not gonna lie. But this is the book I'm hoping to finish by the end of the month. I'm hoping to get it done the next 2 days. Like, I'm just gonna lay here and read. That is actually my plan after I'm done filming this. After I film this, edit it, and get it uploaded. Because I'm one of those booktubers that never films in advance. I usually film and then edit, upload. So once I'm all done with that, I'm gonna look up some like ambiance ASMR rooms and, you know, like just lay here and read. Because it's my day off, so why not? So this is what I'm gonna pick up. So hopefully I can get it done in the next couple of days. It shouldn't be too hard. Like, her books are really easy to get through, so I'm hoping to finish that one. If not, it'll just carry over into November. And then hopefully I can pick up Queen of Shadows, which is book 5. Right? Correct? Are you book 5? I would assume so. You're the next one in my box set. No, you're book 4. You are book 4. You are book 3. Never mind. Queen of Shadows is book 4 in the Throne of Glass series, and this one is fucking fat. Like, this one is even hard to hold. It's so big. And it's not that much bigger. It's not even 100 pages more than Air of Fire. I don't remember if it's this one. I think Queen of Shadows is the one that everybody says is their favorite. It's either Queen of Shadows or Empire of Storms. I can't remember. And I think Empire of Storms is book 5. Yes. Because then it goes Tower of Dawn and then Kingdom of Ash. So I can't remember if it's Queen of Shadows or Empire of Storms everybody says is their favorite. I believe it's Queen of Shadows that everybody fucking loves. So I would really like to get to this. My friend Cindy, my friend and subscriber Cindy, has been buddy reading these with me. We've been really lax on Air of Fire. Like, every day she messages me and goes, okay, how far behind am I? Do I need to catch up? I'm like, oh, none at all, because I suck and I haven't read, so you're good. But hopefully I can get Air of Fire done in the next couple of days, and then Queen of Shadows will be on my November TBR. And then after that, I have 3 books that I would like to get to. Again, I'm just going to allow myself to buddy read. I have a ton of Book of the Month books that I need to get read, and I actually debated making just this whole month a Book of the Month TBR, but that in the way would be kind of limiting myself as well. And when I've started to realize that I'm such a mood reader that if I feel trapped and that this is all I can read and you can't branch out, then I just go, well, fine. And I just sit there like a petulant child. I do have one book in my Kindle that I started. I had started it years ago and stopped, and so I restarted it. I think it was only 30 pages in, and that's A Faint Cold Fear by Karen Slaughter. It's book 3 in the Grant County series. I need to finish the Grant County series so I can start the Will Trent series. I love Karen Slaughter. She's one of my favorite thriller authors. Her books are very graphic, very brutal, and I had bought this on my Kindle years ago. So it's something that I can read at night because I'm done with the fantasy romance for right now. I'm kind of fantasy romanced out after binging 6.5 Laura Thalassa books. Because I read the entire Rhapsodic series, which is 3 books and a novella, and then the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse series. There's only 3 books out, so I read all those back to back to back. So I'm kind of fantasy romanced out. So I think reading Karen Slaughter on my tablet, that's a nice balance and totally not fantasy romance at all. Tons of blood and gore and mystery, and I really enjoy her writing. So I got that one going. And then I have a pre-order coming that comes out November 10th, I think, 9th or 10th. And that's the sequel to Rage of Dragons, Fires of Vengeance. So that'll be coming out. I pre-ordered that, so I'd like to get to that one. If not, I may push that one to December. That one I'm going to have to buddy read with Cindy as well because we read Rage of Dragons together and fucking loved it. So I'm really excited to get to that sequel as well. It's one of my highly anticipated. Both Murphy and Daniel have read it and they both loved it from what they've said. So I'm hoping that I will too. And I loved Rage of Dragons, so I can't see why I wouldn't. It's probably one of my top books of the year. And so then I just have 2 left that are on my TBR that I would really like to get to. And the first is Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. Rory Power wrote, what's it called? Wilder Girls. It's up there. I read that one last year and absolutely loved it. She was kind of hit or miss. People either loved it or didn't like it. Wilder Girls has a very open ending, which I know a lot of people do not enjoy. Doesn't bother me. Open endings don't bother me at all. This one I know is also very weird, just like Wilder Girls. It's about a girl whose mom has family and she hasn't really met them. So she goes on her own to go meet them. There's a lot of corn and cornfields. Weird shit happens. I don't know. Kayla from Books and Lala liked it, but she didn't like it as much as Wilder Girls. And this book is really small. So I'm hoping to get to it because I really enjoyed Rory Power's writing. I really like it. She's just weird, but weird in a good way. Because normally I don't like Lala's weird, like the shit that she likes, but I really loved Wilder Girls and so did she. So maybe there's something about Rory Power's writing that appeals to both of us. We'll see. But it's one that I really want to get to because, again, I pre-ordered this one and I've had it for a couple months now and still haven't picked it up. And last but not least is the one that is so fucking popular right now, and I got it in my Book of the Month box. And that's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. Like, I saw it for Book of the Month and I got it only because Becca and Cody were reading it. Both of them loved it. I think they both gave it 4 or 5 stars and both cried. I will not cry because I have a cold, dead black heart, but it sounds really good. I have a really weird relationship with V. Schwab. Like, I really didn't like her Darker Shade of Magic series. I found it to be really boring and underdeveloped, and I didn't really get into Vicious at all. And those are all YA, so I'm hoping her adult will appeal to me more, kind of like Lee Bardugo's Ninth House, which is adult. I absolutely loved, and I wasn't a fan of her young adult. So hopefully that works for V. Schwab. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, but the print is really small and the margins are really small, and it's a medium-sized book, so I'm hoping that I can get through this and it'll kind of kickstart my reading. I've been wanting to pick it up, but I was waiting to see what some of my favorites have said, and so far everybody's loved it. So I guess we'll see how it goes. Okay, guys, that's it. That is my November TBR. Again, this is a very tentative TBR. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of these or any of these. These are just some books that I really want to read. I'm really hoping I can get through them. I want to get through especially The Savior Sister and, you know, keeping going with the Sarah J. Maas because I kind of got stalled out, and I want to keep that going, and they're easy reads. So, and of course, Addie LaRue. I really want to read that as well. So hopefully we'll see how it goes. But, you know, it's me. I'm lucky if I can read 3 books a month right now. So trying my best. But those are some ideas and books that I might grab here in the month of November. Please let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these, what you thought of them. What are you reading for November? Is there anything else you're excited about? And that is it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.